is up, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Kevin and Zach Reacts. Unfortunately, the Baltimore Orioles lose to the LA Dodgers 6-4. And before I get too far into it, let me just bring him on. Kevin Ostreicher. Kevin, tough night. Not what you want to see, especially from, I know it says 1 earned run, 5 unearned, but it feels like a lot of this was still, it wasn't a great start from Corbin Burnes. We'll get into it more in depth. Definitely want to see more from Corbin Burnes. You want to see more from this offense. Once again, it feels like this team 2 for 7 with runners in scoring position, a little bit better than 0 for 6, but still not great, especially when you leave 7 on base. Kevin, how are we feeling?
Hey, can we have nice things? Can the Orioles just be like, hey, you know what that word is I say a lot? Consistent. Can we get consistency going at some point? Because it felt like the vibes were so back, right? They take game 1 of the Dodgers series, they end up splitting with Houston, and we're sitting here saying, oh well, look, and what did you say? You said if they can go 3-4 is what you said. Yeah. You'll be content. So you're like, oh, they have an opportunity really to pull away here. I'm like, oh, you go 4-3 and you can maybe do that. So
yeah, I know. I got the new facial hair. I got the new.
That's what it was. That's exactly what it was.
I brought back the old hat. Like I wore this.
I still haven't gotten a hat. I'm still outraged, by the way.
Yeah, I know I'm gonna have to get. But I brought out the new hat. This is the hat that I traded the random guy at the bar for.
Let me guess, you gave him one of your other hats.
Yeah, he didn't know I had a bunch.
Yeah, that's a play by you. You're like, he doesn't know I have 10,000.
Yeah, he's like, I'll trade you hats. I was like, I bet you would.
Yeah, he probably thinks that's a super rare hat. There's no others in existence.
Yeah, he probably bet he thinks it's from the Titanic. Everyone thinks it's that. But wow.
Yeah.
Little it was a tough one. I think we're going to talk about majority Corbin Burnes. I'm a little concerned, Kevin. I said before I wasn't concerned, but I'm a little concerned. But we have a few things we want to get into beforehand. Kevin, you want to take it away?
Yeah. First thing we have to talk about is we were talking about our technical difficulties, but we have finally resolved some of those. And I believe if it's set up right, I think I did it right. I think we kind of have that now. Super chats and all that.
We're live.
Memberships, everything that we were talking about, that's all active now. So we've been waiting on it, and we obviously have been teasing that we have plans for our memberships and what we're going to do, whether it's little post-game reactions right before we get on or other things like that. So we were just waiting for the stuff to come through, and it has. And I don't know how you actually see if it's on or not, but
yeah, I actually have no clue. I'm going to be honest. Now that
it is on. It just has to be a matter of, is it actually live right now? So I don't know. I'm going to check that out. But while we're on the topic, it's stuff that we've been waiting on. We have a lot of stuff planned for you with that, but just wanted to announce that that is, we've been talking about it for a while, and everyone's like, are you really going to do it? You've been talking about it forever. But yes, one of the other steps to get to where we're going, we have got it. So that's the one. And then Zach, I'll let you take our other note here.
Yeah. We talk about this all the time. We appreciate the community that we are building here and on the Ryan Ripken Show. And we appreciate each and every one of you that tunes in each and every day, win or lose, pretty or ugly. I mean, let's be honest, the Orioles over the past few months, it's not always been easy to be a fan, but we appreciate you guys being here every single day. And it means a lot to us. And actually, since Kevin, it is 1 a.m., we are on August 29th. We wanted to give a special birthday shout out. So one of our most loyal listeners, someone who watches every single episode, every single reaction, Howard Cole, 80th birthday officially today. So Howard, we wanted to say one, happy birthday. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for watching and tuning in. It means the world to us. And we just wanted to give you a quick birthday shout out. So happy 80th birthday. It truly, thank you for all you do, for tuning in and just the support. It means the world to us.
Yeah. Happy birthday. Look, I wish that I milestone 80. I hope I live to 80. Like that's an incredible accomplishment. And a life full of life. So that's awesome. And actually, what I did here is, in the spirit of Baltimore sports, particularly Orioles, but also Ravens, I pulled up every single Orioles and Ravens player to wear the number 80. So not a lot for the Orioles, actually. In 2000, it was Carlos Casemiro. And then Spencer Watkins, Orioles legend, Spencer Watkins.
Oh, Spencer Watkins.
Number 8, Spencer Watkins. And then for the Ravens, guys of note, or maybe not of note, Miles Boykin, Crockett Gilmore. Obviously, currently it's Isaiah Likely. So that's a good one.
Isaiah Likely year's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good year. Isaiah Likely. So it's the Spencer Watkins and Isaiah Likely year for Howard. So really appreciate you, Howard. Hope you have a really good birthday today and have a happy one.
Yeah, happy birthday. And yeah, we're talking Spencer Watkins at 1:13 a.m.
Magical
on
stuff.
a Thursday. It really is. And once again, happy birthday, Howard. I see a bunch of people in the chat saying it as well. Hope you have a fantastic day. Hopefully the Orioles tomorrow can reward you with a little win and a series win.
Well, technically
today. So a little series win because unfortunately they weren't able to get it done tonight. We talked about it, Kevin. We felt good with Corbin Burnes coming into today against a I don't want to call him a backpedaling Walker Buehler, but a rehabbing Walker Buehler. He hasn't been the same since the Tommy John surgery. He's still trying to kind of get back on track with that. But it was another tough one. Let's go through the official line. Corbin Burnes, 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run. We'll get into that. No walks, 4 strikeouts. I mean, let's be honest. It should have been 5, right? Yeah, 5 runs, 5 earned runs. So
yes, yeah.
Maybe not all 5 earned runs, but it should have been closer to 2 to 3, probably 4. Ramon Arias, that one that they're rolling error was just a hard hit ball.
Yeah.
It was just a hard hit ball. I mean, I'm not necessarily going to sit here and go, ooh, Ramon screwed that one. That's the reason we lost the game. He's also the reason we were in it, with that once again, just simply hitting. Listen, and Ben McDonald and Jim Palmer talked about this all day. It wasn't necessarily that Corbin Burnes didn't have his stuff. It wasn't that the pitches weren't doing what he was wanting. It was the pitch selection. You throw too many curveballs to what's his name? Why am I blanking? Teoscar Hernandez.
Yeah.
The guy won the home run derby. If he started off this year, I think he hit like 5 home runs in the first 5 games. He's got pop. This is one of the guys that in this lineup, there's a reason he's batting 3, right? Yeah, or he batted 4th tonight. He batted 3rd last night.
Yeah,
Lux was back in the lineup.
Right.
There's a reason he's batting 4 for the LA Dodgers. I mean, this guy's got pop. You hang a breaking ball, you throw, I think it was 4 straight breaking balls or something. One of them's going to get hung, and Teoscar didn't miss it. It suddenly became 6-4, and that was it.
Yeah,
or
you could
5-3 at the time.
At that point, it was 5-3, but you could see him beginning to figure it out as he kept throwing the pitches, and he was starting. There was that one play where he almost hit Ohtani, the foul ball going down the line, but he was starting to get a hold of him a little bit, and you're like, probably shouldn't throw that pitch again. But yeah, it's tough. I mean, Corbin right now is definitely in a funk. I know August is historically his worst month. I think there's only been one. I'm trying to find the stat, and I was trying to as you were talking about Corbin and his August, but it is ugly for Corbin Burnes in August. There's only one month where he has below a 3 ERA over the course of his career in August. But he's not hitting his spots. He's leaving too many meatballs or just easy pitches to hit. And yeah, it's just, I mean, look, we see this was before the game today. Oh, here, Jake Rowe right here. Times Corbin Burnes gave up 5 runs for the Orioles over his first 22 starts, March to July. 0. Times Corbin Burnes has given up 5+ runs over his 5 starts in August. 4. And you look at his, if you are just a box score watcher, you look at the stat line and you're like, oh, only one earned run. Really? Was it really Corbin? Was it real? I mean, yes. I mean, we can say Corbin is the ace. Corbin's not playing like an ace. If Corbin plays like this, the Orioles are in trouble. Because while Albert Suarez has stepped up to the plate, while Cole Irvin has had a couple of really quality starts, while Dean Kramer has had, 3 straight quality starts now, these guys are stepping up, but you have to have your ace be your ace. And it's just, here we go. Pigtown Sports. Shout out to Pigtown Sports. This was before the game today, so this was put out before the Dodgers game. But in 2018, in August, he had a 4.70 ERA. 20 and 21 were better, 2.79 and 1.64. 2022 was a 4.81. 2023 was a 3.98. 2024 was an 8.71, which obviously will go down after he only allowed 1 earned run in this game. But that's tough.
Kevin, I have good news. Corbin Burnes' career ERA in September is a 2.58. So he gets it back on track historically.
There we go.
And honestly, I kind of wish this was after our inability to hold another lead. Man, Kevin, I'm not going to lie. When they went up 3-1, I was like, this is it. This is it.
Doing it without Homer. Like, let's go. Runners in scoring position. Like, this is the game. And then, yeah, just all. By the way, I did figure out super chats were not turned on. So I did that. So I guess if you refresh the page, maybe.
I'm looking for Corbin.
This should do it.
Oh, no. Okay, he's only pitched twice in October, and it did not go well.
I mean, again, who are you handing the ball to? Game 1?
Corbin Burnes.
It's Corbin Burnes.
Yeah, I think it's Corbin Burnes, but like it would be if he continues pitching like this and Zach Eflin comes back in 2-3 days and pitches the way he was. I'm not gonna lie, it would be tough to not hand that ball to Zach Eflin. But I think Corbin Burnes gets the first game no matter what, and then it's Zach Eflin. I'm going to agree with Biohack here. If Corbin is still having this exact same type of stretch in September and it goes to 10 straight games, 10 straight games, then I think you have to have a conversation of, okay, do we hand it off to a Zach Eflin? But if Corbin even just shows signs of returning just a semi-Corbin Burnes, you hand him the ball.
Yeah. I mean, he is your ace. He hasn't been playing like an ace. He hasn't been playing like it. But he's your guy, and unless he continues doing what he's doing in September and just continues his struggles, then we can have a different conversation, especially like you mentioned, if Eflin comes back and has been doing what he's doing. Although I will say, if Corbin does not get handed the ball in game 1, that does not necessarily help his re-sign with the Orioles. I think that's his "you're done."
I would throw that out the window.
That's his "you're done here" moment is if he does not get the ball in game 1, which I see people are turning on him. I see it on social media. I see it everywhere. I'm not giving up on Corbin Burnes, but we can sit here right now. We can say Corbin Burnes has not been good this month. I'm not going to sit here and tell you otherwise. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm not a little worried about Corbin, because I am. Right? I think we can all be objective here and say that Corbin historically is an incredible pitcher. But Corbin Burnes right now is not an incredible pitcher. He's not playing like it. So hopefully he can get back on track. But I think for him too, it's just this stuff gets in your head sometimes too. And I remember, Zach, we were praising Corbin early in the season for when stuff was going wrong and it felt like stuff was about to just absolutely explode in his face. He calmed it all down and he was able to get out of jams, get out of tough innings. And that was one of the things where like, hey, this is what makes Corbin Burnes an ace. And it just feels like that's not happening for him in August. So yeah, it's tough. But
and then you also have, obviously, we'll get probably more into it in a little bit, but the defense does let him down. The defense let the entire bullpen down. Not the entire bullpen down, but you get the point where Gunner's error, obviously, it wouldn't have meant anything in the long run, because they still would have lost, even with that error to allow the 6th run to score. But man, it feels like the Orioles right now, they either play picture perfect defense or it's the worst defense you've ever seen. Like they're either making the biggest highlight plays, the biggest jaw dropping, stop where you're at moments, or it's like the ground ball to second and you're like, or actually, no, I'm not even going to put down Jackson Holiday. Jackson Holiday, for all the shit he got early in the season for miscues at second, dude has been incredible at second base really since he's come up, but specifically over the past, I feel like 10, 15 games, he looks so comfortable at second base. It's awesome to see. But I'm just tired of it. Feels like Gunnar Henderson. It feels like, obviously Ryan O'Hearn isn't the best at picking over there. At first, he's not on Mounties level, but it just feels like recently, as soon as one thing bad defensively happens, the game's over. There's no getting back for this team. There's no, okay, the next guy picks him up defensively. It feels like the first guy makes the error, you're expecting 2 to 3 more. Like it's like the floodgates have opened. Let's hope for the best.
Yeah. And I mean, it literally disgusts me. Like I'm looking at this box score. It is disgusting to see that 3 in the error column. Like I'm so used to, and especially this is like nostalgia growing up, but listening to Gary Thorne and everybody saying, 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors, or 1 run, 5 hits, no errors. We don't get that anymore. It's 2 runs, 3 hits, 5 errors. But it seems like every single game, it seems like that's what it is. Where their defense was so good, but last season it was like one of their strengths, where they were really good defensively. It was one of their calling cards. Yeah, this has fallen off a cliff this year, and that's really concerning because we already know, Zach, errors are
they give the other killer. They completely kill your momentum, and they give the opposing team momentum.
But that is 10 times more amplified in the playoffs. 10 times more amplified in the playoffs. So if they don't get that together, which, I mean, I'm not really expecting them to anymore, because this has been for all of the inconsistency the offense has had in the bullpen and the starters, they have had stretches of really good baseball for them. The defense has been bad all season.
Yeah.
So
it really has been. And before we get too far in, the inaugural first, hey, super chats are up. Our first one on Kevin and Zach React. Appreciate it,
man. Let's go. So yep, it's officially up and active. Yeah, it's exciting, and we'll get some level of memberships out at some point too. This is Kevin and Zach React. We are your Orioles post game destination. So if you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button as we go live after every single Orioles game, through the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows, whatever you might be, whatever emotion you're feeling, we have you covered for that. So
yeah, and real fast,
the support.
Howard says thank you so much, everyone, for the birthday.
All right,
Howard, happy birthday! Appreciate you tuning in.
Yeah,
wish they could have gotten the win. Wish we could have gotten the win for you, but that's what today.
Well, you know what?
Tate Povich. It's gonna be fun.
That was the August 28th game. The August 29th game is the birthday game.
So. Exactly. Kevin, let's talk about the offense. I feel like we've talked about the defense and the pitching a lot. We can get into the bullpen in a little bit, because I mean, Gregory Soto, Craig Kimbrell, hello.
8-9,
don't let the boys get hot. I mean, like, come on, baby. Like, Gregory Soto, is the kid putting it together? We'll find out. But let's talk about the offense before we dig into anything. Another one of those games where it was a lot of disappointment. Obviously you score 4 runs. You managed to get 7 hits. They out-hit the Dodgers 7-5. But it's little things where you saw the Orioles get 3 straight hits in the second, and you start saying like, oh, we're hitting with runners in scoring position. 2 outs, runners in scoring position. They're getting it done. Ryan O'Hearn in the 5th, 2 outs, runners in scoring position, gets it done. You felt like it was there, but then you just have more and more disappointment. It felt like Ramon Arias is kind of, if it's not Ramon, it's nobody right now, which is what? But it's unreal. It's literally it's Ramon's world. We're just living in it, and it just sucks that Ramon, even though he's on fire right now. Obviously, O'Hearn was 1 for 3 in front of him. Then Eloy goes 0 for 1, pinch hitting. Cedric 0 for 4 right behind, in front of Urias, and then Holiday 0 for 4 right behind him. So even though Urias is staying hot, you need to get help around him. I almost would say put Urias at like 6 hole right now. Like, you got to get him up there. It's just, he seems to be the only one that really has something going. Colton Cowser gets a hit. Tony gets a hit, and O'Hearn gets a clutch hit. James McCann gets the single in the 2nd, obviously. The RBI. Man. It's inconsistency. It's exactly what you said.
Yeah, and look, it's great to see Ryan O'Hearn kind of get back on track these past 2 games after going through it. And, you're hoping that can be the momentum for him. But I agree with you where, like, I'm putting Ramon over Seti right now in the lineup. It's not even close. Not even close. Like, there's no reason to not put Ramon ahead of Seti right now. You want to get him more bats. You want to put him in better situations. And to me, I think the big thing for this team is, yes, it was promising that they were able to score 4 runs without hitting a home run tonight. Like, I know they lost. I know it wasn't necessarily a pretty game or anything like that, but at least that's a start. Now, can they continue to put it together? Can they balance out their home runs with the runners in scoring position and say, oh, they can hit three home runs in a game, but that's not sustainable every single game. The most realistic thing is probably 1 home run or 2, and then you work through the rest of that and you get 3 to 4 runs with runners in scoring position, then that's like 6 or 7 runs. That's 6 or 7 runs a game, and they have enough talent. The thing that's so frustrating with the offense is they're so talented. This has never been a talent issue. We've said that over and over and over again on this show. It's never been a talent issue. It's about their consistency.
I think it's a philosophy issue at this point. I think because these guys, like you said, it's not a talent issue. We've seen them do this for stretches of time. I'm not even going to say it's a consistency issue necessarily in the fact of, oh, these are all just streaky hitters. We saw Gunnar put on a hell of a full 162 last year. Like, we've seen stretches of these guys going 100-plus games of just great ball. I think it's a philosophical thing. They go out there and they try to hit home runs. I don't know what it is. I don't know what changed, but it seems like Adley Rutschman went from this OBP machine who was just working counts, getting on base, just getting the pitch count up, finding ways to get on base no matter what, and he was successful. He was the best catcher in baseball because of it. We used to say all the time, I would post the Moneyball clip every single game, it felt like, of why do we love Adley Rutschman? Because he gets on base. What's Adley doing this year? Why is he struggling? Because Adley seems to swing for the fences every single time, and that's not who Adley Rutschman is.
Yeah.
It's not. You see guys like Gunnar swings for the fences every time. It just feels like right now, the entire team, I don't know if it's in the coaching staff. I don't know if it's who it is. Is it the hitting coaches are looking for more power? Are they trying to pull the ball more? What the philosophy is, but I'm telling you, something weird's happening where these guys are all trying to just pull the ball for power, and that's not what this team is good at. If you want to say Tony, like, go try to pull the ball for power, yeah, Tony has earned the right to go say, hey, I'm a power hitter who can pull it for power. If you want, Gunnar Henderson is at his best when he's using the whole field. Adley Rutschman's at his best when he's using the whole field. Cedric Mullins is at his best when he's using the whole field. Jordan Westberg, Ryan Mountcastle. We talk about all these guys all the time, how you know when they're doing well because they're using the whole field. They're working counts. They're confident. They have confident takes. Right now, it feels like, once again, it's just home run or nothing's going to happen.
Yeah. And I don't know if this has anything to do with, the back stuff that's been going on with Adley over these past couple of months or stuff along those lines, but he just doesn't look confident at the plate either. And that's tough. I mean, I agree with you, it's some level of a philosophy issue because it's not only Adley, it's a lot of the team in doing a lot of this stuff. But Adley's been the guy that is supposed to be one of your superstars, and he's not been playing like it over the past couple of months. So to me, they need to get him back to at least being able to be a neutral on the offensive side of the ball, being able for him to put the ball in play, get on, even if it's just getting a single, drive a guy in from second, just getting a little RBI loop thing, get him back on track, find that consistency. So look, it's been worrying for Adley. This is a slump unlike any other that we've seen from him. He's obviously too talented to go through this, but he's going through it anyway. So something has to change there because if he's playing like this, it decreases the Orioles' chances of winning.
There's no coincidence that the Orioles, this weird 2-month stretch, 2.5, 3-month stretch almost at this point of poor offense coincides directly with Adley Rutschman getting cold. When Adley was hitting 306, when he was getting on almost 4 every 10 times, this offense was incredible. This offense was the number 1 offense in baseball. They were winning games. They were the number one team in baseball. But something's happening. I don't know what it is. It's like the Windhurst. Like, what's going on in Baltimore? Why are all these guys so focused on the long ball? Makes no sense.
Yeah. It is crazy. And let's get to a couple of other super chats here. Again, just turned on the feature. Really appreciate it. Shante, appreciate you. Do you think the baseball guys don't want Corbin to get past 12 wins, or is he having communication problems with Adley and McCann? Yes,
it's
fun
just
fact, or I guess not so fun fact. Corbin Burnes has not gotten past 12 wins in his career.
I'm not gonna lie, Kevin. The first 2 times I made jokes about it, I was like, oh, this is just a joke. I'm starting to think something's going on. Like, we made a lot of jokes about it this year where we were like, well, Corbin can finally get past 12 wins now that he's on, one of the best teams in baseball. What if he just doesn't?
He has to. There's no way. He has to.
I think,
there's no, all right, there is no, yes, he's been struggling, but there's no way Corbin doesn't get one more win here.
Yeah, I'm going to say that too, obviously, but I'm just saying. I'm just
but there is the whole thing about McCann catching Corbin and all that. It's so not Corbin Burnes like.
Yeah.
Does anybody know, is this the worst month of Corbin's career? Not August, but this particular month. Has he ever had a worse month? I would be shocked if it wasn't.
Well, it's gonna look a lot better because 5 innings and 1 earned run.
I know, yeah. The ERA is gonna drop a lot.
I hate. Not that I hate that Corbin's numbers look better, but I hate that he's gonna the box score watcher's gonna be like, Corbin didn't deserve this. It's like, meh. And maybe he does. Maybe he shouldn't. James McCann shouldn't be calling another curveball in that situation. And I also want to make something so clear. The 1 earned run that's technically on him, the Shohei home run, there was nothing Corbin could do about that. We want to give Corbin some, an excuse for one thing. It was that Shohei home run. How the hell does Shohei do it? That was an outside curveball that he poked and pulled it out.
Yeah, I have no words. None.
I mean, we want to talk about the Dodgers for a second. Shohei Ohtani. It's watching him is so much fun. I hate playing against him. I do not. I'm so ready for this series to be over so we don't have to worry about Shohei anymore. But my God, is he just fun?
Yeah, really glad he's not in the AL. Really glad he's not.
This is what I was thinking. Remember when it was all the reports were it's a done deal, he's going to be a Blue Jay? And all that. If we would have been dealing with this 13 times a year, oh,
Yeah, no.
That would have been awful. That would have been so awful.
Not for me. Yeah. And then we got one more here from MIT Lab. Appreciate your found money in the couch. Isn't that the best feeling?
The best.
Isn't that the best feeling?
It's up there with laundry, like finding it like a $20.
I thought you said doing laundry. I'm like, oh.
No, like when you find remember when you're like shifting through laundry about to do it, and you're like, what is this? And you find like a $5 bill in like your pocket. You're like, nice.
Yeah, that's like the coat pocket. Like
you just randomly like some article of clothing, like jacket or something. And you're like, wait, what is this? And it's just like, oh.
Yeah, or finding like a coin on the street. I pick up every single coin I have a little bowl of coins. I actually, when I was in high school, I picked up enough coins. I still have it. It's like $75 worth of coins that I picked up off the ground. It adds up, people. It adds up. If you don't want your coins, I will take your coins. All right. If you don't want them, I will be the coin bank. I'll do it. I see you smiling.
If you don't want your coins, I'll have them. And Joe.
Bro,
You're
the man.
You're the man. You're the man, Joe. As always, we know you appreciate you.
Yeah.
Let's go a little bit into. I know we're talking about offensive inconsistency. Let's move to the bullpen. Keegan Aiken, 1 inning, 1 strikeout, no earned runs. Gregory Soto, 1 inning, 1 strikeout, no earned runs. Craig Kimbrell, 1 inning, no earned runs. Low leverage. Actually, I'm not even going to call these low leverage. That's a 2-run game in LA in a big moment. That's not necessarily the lowest of leverage. Obviously, it's not a 1-run lead in the late innings, but you still want to keep them close. Gregory Soto, guy got a crap ton of hate over his first few outings here. I think he's at 6 straight scoreless outings. Now, one of them, about 1 to 2 have been shaky, but 3 to 4 of them? Listen, I'm not saying Gregory Soto for like 8th inning or anything, but if Gregory Soto wants to decide to come out here and be a serviceable lefty out of the pen, power throwing lefty out of the pen that we can go get outs in the 6th, 7th inning, even if it's a 1-run game, if we have a 3-run lead, whatever it may be, having a guy like that is never a bad thing. And obviously same with Kimbrell. Having a guy, if he can just get his confidence back to where he can just pitch in the 7th, the pitch in the 6th, good. That's what you need. Keegan Aiken also just looks incredible recently. I absolutely love what he's doing. I feel just as confident in him as any pitcher.
Yeah, look, I mean, in this Dodgers series, 7 2/3 scoreless innings for this bullpen, including tonight where you get 3 with just 3 shutout, 3 no hit, just incredible stuff from 3 guys. Obviously, Keegan, you said, has been looking good, and I agree with you there. But with Soto and Kimbrell, you come in, they come in, you're kind of like, oh, what's this gonna look like? What's this gonna be? And Craig, I mean, I'm gonna pull up the stats quickly. Craig over his last.
This is so true.
What?
Kevin, just real fast. What?
I think it's still the starters, but bullpen is up there.
For
starters minus Corbin.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I mean, bullpen has seemed to get it together.
The bullpen has been good though. Like I don't disagree.
We're sitting here talking about how the bullpen is actually looking decent, and Ramon Arias.
The biggest concern.
Birchfish
is that guy.
Yeah, poor Birch.
And apparently they're going to bring up Tyler Rogers. So, or whatever. Hold on. Yeah, that's what I thought. No, not Tyler Rogers. Who's the pitcher they just got?
Nate Bowman or Nick Anderson?
I was thinking Trevor Rogers, but I meant to say Nick Anderson. Yeah, that was really bad. It's this is 1:45 in the morning on Kevin and Zachary. I don't think people want to see Trevor Rogers. Tyler Rogers for the Giants wouldn't be terrible.
Dude, that would have, if we would have traded Norby and Stowers for him, also both of them ranking right now, I would be very happy.
Yeah, I confused 3 different players in one sentence. That's probably a record. So 1:45 a.m. things. But yes, I meant Nick Anderson. Nick Anderson. They're gonna have him up.
And is that the weirdest tweet by Rock Kabako, like ever announcing a move? Like he literally tweeted out, he said Nick Anderson signed a minor league deal. They want him up ASAP. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I guess I was like, did they put that in the press release? Like, want him up ASAP? Like, I was like, what was the just reason for that?
Yeah. I know. Who's the guy that goes down?
Probably Birch. Doesn't he have options?
I don't know if he has options. Although, actually, the Giants did place Taylor Rogers on waivers. So they placed Taylor, not Tyler, on waivers.
You know what? I think I can make that work, though.
Well, no, what you have to do is you say you're claiming Taylor.
Yeah, and you
actually take Tyler.
Yeah.
And so no one will know since they're twins, right? Aren't they twins?
Taylor's got a 2.45 ERA.
They placed 3. They placed Estrada.
That's what they're doing the Angels thing from last year.
Yeah. Hey, I wouldn't be mad if they were to get Rogers or Estrada. Although they don't really need Estrada. I guess it's more you could get Matzik or Rogers and be fine.
If they got Rogers, I'd be really happy right now. I'm really happy. And Burley Orange. Appreciate you. Gunner leading off, nothing to lose, huge upside potential. Yeah, we've talked about this. I like Hauser in the leadoff still, but yeah, I think we might be getting back to the point of switching up. Like we got to get something going again. And yes, I do think it is $12 million next year.
Who is this for?
I think that was for Rogers. Let me check it.
Oh yeah, and then we have a couple other moves to talk about too as we round out the show. Joe, I see your comments about Tate, so we'll get to Tate in a couple minutes.
Mm-hmm. Let me look up his all-time. God, yeah, he's got $12 million next year. Mm-hmm. Oh, that'll be interesting. Yeah, so literally the Giants are doing what the Angels did last year, where they literally are just like,
yeah, wasn't that like Renfroe and
and then the state of Ohio just decided to take like the Guardians and the Reds, who really weren't in it, just took 5 of the 6 players, and everyone's like, "What the hell?"
Speaking of the Guardians, man, what a fall!
Yeah, they took it back first though today in one of the craziest games ever. It was they lead changed 4 times.
Jeez.
Yeah, they came back. They were down 2 in the 8th and 1.
Yeah, man. They look. If any team needed it, it was them. So, do we want to talk about the Tate move?
Yeah,
you want to do that. So the Orioles officially DFA Dylan Tate, and the Marlins pipeline continues for the Orioles apparently with them getting Forrest Wall, the outfielder, off of waivers from the Marlins. So obviously that was the 40-man move, was Tate going off. How do you feel about that? He's the last piece from the Britton deal, if I'm not mistaken, right? So the horror deadline for the Orioles. So they gave up all their talent and got pretty much nothing back.
You got Dean Kramer.
Is he the last piece now, besides Zimmerman?
Well, Bruce Zimmerman got DFA'd.
When?
Like a few days ago. But he's not. Bruce Zimmerman got DFA'd in that massive when it was the 7 moves at once.
Oh, I must have looked over. Jeez.
Yeah, it was 7 roster moves all at once, and he was. But I think he might have still stayed in. I gotta check. I think we're still waiting to see what happens there. Yeah, it's that. I feel bad for Tate. I feel bad because 2022, Dylan Tate was legitimately probably our most reliable reliever and missed all last year with some back issues. I'm not going to lie, Kevin. We talked about this beforehand. We talked about this earlier this season. We felt that Dylan Tate was kind of a dark horse in this bullpen, someone that can go out
had
there.
electric stuff early.
Yeah. And we felt like, hey, if Dylan Tate gets back to what Dylan Tate does, suddenly you're sitting there and you're like, there's your seventh guy. There's your 7-8 guy. He can pitch in the 7-8. Hell, I saw some people saying Dylan Tate for closer. There were the Dylan Tate for closer things going out there. It really is just tough to see someone who, I don't know what it is. I don't know if his stuff's falling off. I don't know if it's a confidence thing, but who was such an important piece to this team in 2022 and that fun year that really turned it all around. Then he gets robbed of not being able to contribute last year. And for him to come back this year and struggle enough to where they have to DFA him, it sucks for the guy.
Yeah. I mean, like a former top prospect. What trade was, because wasn't he in Texas and he was traded for, was it Chapman? Was he the Chapman piece?
Yeah. Because people forget that. That's another thing. He was a top 10 pick, I believe. He was a first-round pick.
He was drafted pretty high up, I thought.
Yeah. Let me, I want to say it's like number 8.
He went fourth.
Damn, even more. Yep.
Crazy.
2015.
Yeah. Actually, this is now my new favorite game. Rylan Bannon floating out there in space somewhere. Just naming former Orioles that were in those trades. Zach Pop, Orioles legend, was in that Machado deal.
He's in Toronto. Rylan Bannon, I thought, was going to be our next Brian Roberts. I'd convinced myself. I don't know why, but I convinced myself he was the next Brian Roberts.
Yeah, VR came over in the scope deal.
VR was one of my favorite Orioles of all time.
He was awesome.
Like, talk about Jonathan VR. He had the cycle. Like, just talk about a guy who is not here that long.
He was only there for 1.5 years, 2 years.
Yeah, and just the guy came in and was just vibes off the charts. Just played hard. He and Jose Iglesias were just, God, I love that.
Oh, yeah. Hanser Alberto, too, is one of those just like, one of the throwback Orioles that you love. Wasn't in those deals.
Hit 400 versus lefties one year, and that was insane.
And then just we're like, no, we're done. we're goodbye. Luis Ortiz was everybody thought he was going to be the guy, but never really panned out. Giancarlo Encarnacion, he was in that deal. Cody Carroll in the Britton deal.
God, I forgot about Cody Carroll.
Yeah, he was in the Britton deal. I'm sure people have. Who else? Because there were like 5 deals. It was Gausman, Scope, Machado. I mean, Yusniel Diaz obviously was the headliner of the Machado deal, and that was just
that.
Could have had Gavin Lux, could have had Dustin, but they weren't trading Lux or May. They made that clear.
They took quantity over quality and it bit them in the ass.
Yep.
Wasn't in that trade, but if we want to talk about Rule 5 picks, what a Linsanity run. That April of Joey Ricard was quite possibly the greatest thing to ever happen.
They have those outfielder types like David Lowe and like all those guys. Like they have that type. Even like McLeod. Like I know that he was like a vet and he was established. I mean, he wasn't the Nate McLeod of like Pittsburgh, but like
but he got him produced.
Yeah, he was awesome. So,
and I agree with what Jeff's saying. We miss Adam Frazier. Can say what you want, but the Royals are benefiting from, without a doubt. I think this team's missing some veteran.
Yeah, they might have gone. They went a little too hard on we're getting rid of all the vets.
Yeah, I think I don't know if Frazier was the guy to keep just because, but I think a guy like honestly like Kyle Gibson should have been kept. So
yeah,
just a tough loss. Let's kind of move as we kind of wind down. Let's go the tomorrow. Povich on the mound. Let me get the official matchup. Let's see who there.
For the probables, it's Povich and isn't it?
It's not Glass now, is it? No, it's Bobby Miller. Bobby Miller.
Ravens legend Bobby Miller.
7.49 ERA. I cannot state enough the perfect game that is about to be thrown.
Yeah, they need to show him. They need to show him.
They need to. Hey, but where else would you rather be, Kevin? We said we just wanted a chance. We wanted the Orioles to have a chance to win this series. Here they are. Final game. Tate Povich, give him, say what you want. The dude has stepped up since being recalled, and the dude has stepped up his entire career in the big moment when the team needed him the most. So to quote Buck Showalter, I like our guys.
Hey, all these guys, man, outside of Corbin, have been stepping up when they need him to.
If Tate Povich goes out there and gives up 2 or less walks, the Orioles win tomorrow. I'd almost guarantee it.
Oh, Zach Bollinger almost guarantee.
If he gives up 1, I'll say 1 or less, they win.
Okay, so one walk or 0, Orioles win. That is the Zach Bollinger guarantee.
Yeah, they're
put it on a shirt. The Zach Bollinger guarantee.
Put it on a shirt, baby. Put it on a shirt.
Yeah. Also, we did find out today that Jorge Mateo is obviously had the vaunted Tommy John surgery. Different per position players as opposed to pitchers, but still tough. Probably puts his timeline at the very least beginning of next year, if not kind of towards the middle. But again, it is different for position players as opposed to pitchers. It's just a different recovery process. So I think we kind of understood that Jorge was going to be out for the rest of the season. They were going to roll with Jackson, and that was going to be it. But still a tough blow. You got to feel for Jorge, especially because early on in the season, man, he was swinging that thing, absolutely swinging it, and he's their best source of speed. So it's tough to lose a guy like that, but
it's really tough.
I mean, another injury in the books for the Orioles. So
another injury, and it just feels like it's the recurring theme, I think this team misses Jorge more than people are willing to admit.
Yep.
I think you're missing that speed. I think you're missing that energy. So,
yeah, I'm with you. I am with you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's it. It's another 1:55 in the morning. Appreciate everyone. I will say we got up to like 80 some people.
Yeah. Pretty solid turnout again after a loss for an East Coast
we hit
team,
91.
East Coast fan base. Tuning into us at 2 a.m., man, that's awesome. Seriously, the community that obviously on the Ryan Ripken show that we built over there, and Kevin and Zach Reacts, which we've built over here. Obviously, the two are very intertwined as we are, of course, part of the Ryan Ripken Media Show empire. So it's been awesome. Thank you for being here with us after every game.
Swinging that thing.
Swinging that thing, man. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, you want to take us home?
Yeah, Baltimore Orioles fall to the LA Dodgers by a score of 6-4. Miscues, really the highlight of today. Ramon Arias stays the hottest backup third baseman thrown into the starting role in Major League Baseball. Orioles aren't able to get it done with Corbin on the mound, but tomorrow is a new day. I should say today is a new day, Kevin. Today is a new day. Tate Povich on the mound as the Orioles try to take the win the series, win the 7-game gauntlet that they've been through. Kevin, where else would you rather be but here, an opportunity to win it tomorrow? That's all we asked for, and that's what we got. So let's do it. Another day in paradise. I'm just going to say it. Another day in paradise. Out in LA, baby. So we'll see you back tomorrow after the game. Probably like what? 1 o'clock-ish again. We'll see.
Yeah, it's another 10-10 game. So we'll be back here. But you know what? We're running out of baseball. It's crazy to think the season is winding down.
Weird.
Going back to March, and now we're here almost the beginning of September. We don't have a lot of these games left. So hey, man, I know it's been a rough year injury-wise, an inconsistent season. But you know what? Yeah, win or lose, man. Baseball's amazing. You know, I love it. I know you do too. And it's tough to kind of see the season wrapping up, but you know what? Hopefully it's an exciting September and exciting October for the Orioles. But hey, you know, we just got to get there and find out.
Just get there. Kevin, at the end of the day, the only thing that's important is getting to the dance. Then
Well,
it's
and the other thing, which you did not do yet.
I can't play it after the O's lose. If we would have tied it, that thing would have been blasted.
Have you learned any? Can you play like a sad harmonica song on the way out? Do you know any like sad harmonica tunes?
No.
Have you even learned the harmonica yet?
Nope, I kind of put this down since that happened. No, that sounds too happy.
That wasn't terrible.
Sad harmonica on the way out.
Yeah,
I'll do it. But we will see you tomorrow after the game. As always,